Hello guys, and welcome to my journal for Wednesday the 2nd of September 2020. It was a strong bullish and risk on day in the equity markets today, and at the closing bell all the four equity indices closed higher. The Dow, the S&P, Nasdaq and the Russell all closed higher. And not only did they all close higher, it was a broad-based rally as well, with nearly all the sectors participating in the rally with the exception of, I think, energy. Energy was down. In addition to that, the ratio of the advancing to declining stocks on the New York Stock Exchange was 2-to-1. So for every stock that closed lower, two stocks actually closed higher. And yet again, it was another record high close for both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. That said, a few companies stood out today as not participating, not taking part in today's rally, and these tech companies have been leading the rally in the Nasdaq. Apple was one of them. Apple was down 2% today. Tesla was also down 6%. I think Tesla rallied hard throughout last week and on Monday, and Elon Musk came out and said he's going to issue an additional $5 billion worth of stock. I don't know if that spooked the market in Tesla, time will tell, but it was down 6% today, even as Nasdaq hit a new high. And finally, Zoom was down 7.4%. Zoom announced their earnings on, I think it was Monday after the bell, and it had a blowout quarter. The beat both the top and bottom line, I think, by more than double what the street was expecting. And the stock rallied about 15 or 18% yesterday, and it looks like it's given some of that back. The dollar also had a bounce today. The dollar index was up to close around the 92.63 level. So it still remains below 93, but it caught a bid today and it did rally. There was also some money going into fixed income. US Treasury 10-year benchmark saw yields fall by about 23 basis points. As for the precious metals, both gold and silver were down today, and silver fared the worst out of both of them. Silver was down by about 3.6%. So, in summary, the risk on day had some semblance of normality to it today. So we saw money move into equities, and money come out of precious metals. But then we also saw some money go into treasuries. And that takes me on to the VIX. As the S&P 500 printed a new high at the close, the VIX continues to dance to its own tune, and it looks like it remains in quarantine from the rally or from the equities markets. And that is because the VIX was up again today, albeit only in inverted quotes, only 1.72% to close at 26.57. I say only because it was up about 15% or so on Monday. So as equity markets rallied, precious markets pulled back a bit. There was also some protection buying in the options markets, and that pushed up the VIX. And that said, there are now 16 days until the September contract expires and 44 days until the October contract expires. And my window for selling spreads in the October contract is now open, and I did find a couple of trade ideas today. So today I had two new trade ideas, one of them in Facebook and one in QDEL. In both cases, I was looking to sell put spreads to open positions, but I didn't get filled in either of them. For more information about these trade ideas, you can visit the Trade Ideas forum or click on the links below to both of these trades. And that takes me to my open positions. I now have 3 open positions in the September contracts: FSLY, CRBP, and ARKK. FSLY, I sold the 80.75 put spread. Let's see where FSLY closed today. So FSLY closed at $91.79. My short 80 strike put is still out of the money. No action required on this. There are how many days left? There are 16 days left. I shall leave theta decay to do its thing on that one. The second one, CRBP, I sold the 2.5 put spread. Let's see where CRBP closed today. CRBP. So CRBP closed at $9.38, and again my short 5 strike put is out of the money, and again no action required on this one. I shall leave theta decay to do its thing over the next 16 days, hopefully over the next week or so. And that takes me to the final position, ARKK. ARKK, I sold the 90.95 core spread. Let's see where ARKK closed today. ARKK closed at $96.97. So my short 90 core strike as well as my long 95 core are both in the money. In my journal on Monday, I said if ARKK consolidates around the 95 level, I would adjust the position by selling a 100-105 core spread to ladder my strikes. Well, ARKK has consolidated around the $95, but I have changed my mind about selling the 100-105 core spread, and here is why. My objective when I adjust my position is to minimize my risk and not to increase it. Selling the 100-105 core would have brought in more credits, but it would have also increased my risk as well as tied up more option buying power. I have now decided to go back to my original plan, which is to reduce the risk in the trade or take the defined risk in the trade. So I sold the spread for $1.35. Where is it? I sold the spread for $1.35. It is a $5 wide spread. So my maximum risk in this trade is $3.65 per contract. And any adjustment I make to this position should result in reducing the maximum risk to below $3.65 and not to increase it. And that's why I decided to back off from the plan I laid out on Monday. I'll go into more details in my Friday's journal, which is when I generally review all the open positions. And that takes me on to my watch list, and as you can see, there are quite a few on the watch list today. I'll quickly zoom through them. CRBP being the first one. CRBP still stubbornly high, 89%. That's why it's on my list. The next one is Spotify, SPOT. Spotify is a $276 stock. IV is at 70%. The next two are Alibaba and PDD. BABA. Alibaba is another $296 stock. Implied volatility on this one is 64, and it was PDD. PDD is a $90 stock, and implied volatility on this one is 68%. I've got Spotify on my list twice. Next to Zoom and Tesla. ZM, a $423 stock, and implied volatility is 59. Tesla has split. It was a $2,000 stock, now it's 447. Implied volatility is 59. I have also got SE, Amazon and Apple. So SE, C Limited, $157 stock, implied volatility 57. Amazon, AMZN, Amazon 3,000. This could do with a split. $3,531, implied volatility 55. I've only ever traded a spread in Amazon once, and that's because the spreads are ridiculously wide. Let's have a look and see where the spreads are. So October, let's have a look. Not too bad, 190, 200. So the spread is about $10 wide, but then the strikes are $10 wide as well. Okay, so that was Amazon. Apple, Apple has split from 400 to 100. Apple is $131, implied volatility is 52. And the final three are JD, FB and QDEL. JD is an $83 stock. IV 52. Facebook, which I tried to open a position in today, but I never got filled. $300. Implied volatility 50. And the final one was QDEL. I also tried to open a position in this one. QDEL, $167 stock, implied volatility 71.6. And that brings me to the end of my journal for today. So just to recap on the highlights, my position in ARKK, I have decided against selling another call spread to adjust it. If anything at all, it would be a put spread, and I shall speak more about that position on Friday. I had 2 trade ideas, and I'll be looking to put on a few more trade ideas before the week runs out. And that's it. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.